Hello, everyone. Welcome to our show today called NG 英文. My name is John Drummond, or Yang Haoen.
Hello, 大家好，欢迎回到我们西平方的节目 NG 英文，我是 Angela。We
have a great episode for you today with our good friend Perry Lee, who's known around the Taiwanese community as Mr. Lee.
是的，今天我们很幸运的邀请到了 Perry Lee 来 NG 英文，跟大家分享他在美国的求学生涯，他的演员梦，以及一路走来学语言的心路历程。
But before we get to the interview with Perry and I, Angela is going to help us break down some different sport expressions we can use in English, as Perry had a big part of his life credited to playing rugby and American football.Yeah. So take it away, Angela, here on NG 英文。
好的，没问题，这样谢谢你的介绍。对呀，等一下呢 Perry 他会提到说因为参加学校的美式足球队而学到很多俚语，对于他在融入当地社会这方面有很大的帮助。所以呢，今天我们在 NG 英文也要来跟大家介绍几种跟球类有关，除了在球场上会用到以外，一般生活里也可以说得到的用法。赶快把 NG cheat sheet 你的 NG 英文笔记小抄准备好，我们要开始咯。首先我们来认识这一句 Carry the ball Carry the ball 好，字面上意思呢是要你好好把球拿好抱好。那相信大家也知道，在这个美式足球场上啊，他们球员常常呢都是责任重大要抱着一颗球，要不被敌人击倒的冲到球场的另一端才可以达阵得分。所以这一句也常被延伸用来表达背负重担、身负重任的意思。再来，有把球拿好带好，就也会有突袭，有球没有拿好掉了的时候嘛，对不对？有时候还是会一个不小心就哎呀，我 drop the ball， 我球掉了。好 drop the ball。 在球场上，你如果球掉了，表示你给对手机会，犯了一个不可原谅全天下男人都会犯的错，有没有？没有啦，开玩笑的，你球掉了就表示你出错了嘛，对不对？所以这一句话呢也被衍生用来表示犯错，或是你错失机会。好 drop the ball。 最后再来一个也是跟球有关的片语 get the ball rolling get the ball rolling。 从字面上看过去，它大概意思是让球滚，让球开始滚的意思。因为像有些球类运动，像是可能锤球好了，锤球他们就是球要滚，它比赛才能进行嘛，对不对？所以久而久之也就慢慢被大家做延伸，用来表达要人家开始进行做某件事，赶快开始的意思。好，或者呢有时候也会被用来表示让事情继续进行，继续发展下去。像是可能主持人好了，你主持人主持活动的时候，责任呢就是要 keep the ball going， 对不对？要让场子维持热度，要不能冷场嘛。像如果你是一个婚宴主持人，那让宾客冷场，新人就是尴尬到极点了。所以要 keep the ball going。 这样子大家有了解了吗？希望刚才讲的这些对你的英文学习之路有所帮助。如果刚才有漏掉没有听到或是写下来的，也不用担心，可以上我们的 Spotify 或是 YouTube 频道，随时要听几次就给他听几次。有什么问题也欢迎在底下留言让我们知道哦。那如果大家都准备好了的话，我们就赶快进入今天的访谈内容，听听 Perry 的分享吧。
All right. As always, thank you, Miss Angela Ma, for that wonderful NG 英文 breakdown. My guest today is Taiwanese. He is an actor, model, entrepreneur, athlete, and so much more. So everyone, please welcome my good friend, Perry.
Hey, how's it going, guys? What's up, John?
Boom.
Thanks
What's
for
up,
having
bro?
me, man.
Yeah, man. So first of all, I should say welcome back to Taiwan.
I know it's been a bumpy ride, I'll tell you that. Coming from LA.
Yeah.
I'm glad I'm back though, you know, with everything going on, the pandemic. Taiwan is probably the safest country in the world right now to be in, so we are blessed.
Yeah, man, no doubt. So, dude, you have such a cool and interesting life. The first time I came into contact with you visually was with our friend Brandon. You guys were doing some digital short skits. So can you share a little bit about what that is?
访谈一开始，我先来帮各位回想一下， 很久以前我们曾经有邀请过搞笑专家布莱登 Brandon 来到节目上跟大家做分享。好，那好巧不巧，世界真是小，这位布莱登呢，他刚好是 John 跟 Perry 两个的共同朋友。他们两个人第一次认识的时候，就是因为当时 Perry 刚好正在跟 Brandon 在拍一部这个 short skit， 一部搞笑短片。那因为布莱登跟 Perry 两个其实本来就已经是老朋友，认识很多年了，小时候就是一起在 TAS 在台北美国学校的同学。后来他从美国回台湾之后，两个呢就开始一起拍更多的搞笑影片。这边等一下大家要听到一个片语可以学起来哦，这个 go way back， 它不是说要回去哪里的意思哦，意思是认识很久。好，像这边培育说他跟布莱登两个是 go way back，就在表达他们两个人是认识很久的老朋友。或者呢，大家也可以用这一句 go back a long way 来表达。不管是 Brandon and I go way back， 还是说Brandon and I go back a long way， 不管是哪一个，两种都可以用来说明我们是认识很久的老朋友。赶快来听 Perry 的故事吧。
Yeah, I mean, Brandon and I go way back. You know, we went to school together back at TAS.And I've known him for, years now. So when I came back, I just hit him up. I was like, I got to do some acting with you, man. I see him doing these short little, comedy skits, and I was dying from them. So I was like, hey, Brendan, we gotta do something ASAP. And then that's how that's how it all started.
That's dope, man.
Yeah.
So you, there's one in particular, I think you told me off air, the first one you guys ever did, and it was about you being like,He thought you were an Uber driver. Can you share about that?
接下来 Perry 会提到说他第一次跟布莱登合作拍的是一个上错车的故事。这个短片就是在讲说布莱登上 Uber 叫车，结果等了老半天都没等到，后来终于有一部车子来了，就兴冲冲的以为是他的 Uber 就上车了，殊不知根本就不是只是一般路人开车经过而已。所以想当然这开车的人，也就是我们 Perry 所饰演，就很生气要布莱登下车，他不是要载客的，但布莱登就完全不理他，一直到最后他实在是受不了了， Perry 就直接拿出高尔夫球棒把布莱登赶下车。有兴趣的听众朋友，待会在节目过后可以上他们的社群平台欣赏他们的短片，笑一笑哦。那这边有一个字跟各位说明一下，我们都知道高尔夫球是 golf， 好，对不对？ golf。 那高尔夫球棒大家知道怎么讲吗？我们一般会说 golf club， 没错， golf club。 这个 club 它除了一般可以用来指俱乐部啦、社团、夜店等等，它还有棍棒的意思哦，很特别吧？
Yes, the whole concept of that skit was, he was calling Uber, and suddenly I pull up. I was actually just, pedestrian, whatever. And then he gets in the car listening to music. And I was like, what are you doing? Get the F out of my car. And he was like, what do you mean get out? I was like, I'm not an Uber. And then he's like, what do you mean? No, he just starts telling me his address and just totally disregards my comments and just keeps going on saying how bad review, he's going to give me a bad review. No, like 1 star. And I just got mad. And then I, eventually got out the car, got my golf club from out my trunk, and I opened his door. I was going to, beat him up. But, I mean, it was the first skit we ever done, so it was kind of rough. But, I mean, I had a lot of fun.
Yeah, man. It was hilarious. And a little bit more of your background. So you are kind of now, I guess I'd say, a full-time actor in LA and in Taiwan, right? Is that the idea?
紧接着我们会谈到 Perry 的背景。原来他有一个演员梦哦，在过去3年在加州他本来就是在当演员的，在电影或是在电视广告都有参与过演出，而且也有拿到美国演员工会的 SAG 卡，表示说呢他是一名职业演员。那后来想说就可以回来家乡，回来台湾继续朝演艺界发展，结果没想到一回来就遇到这个肺炎，原本的计划现在都要打掉重排，只能等疫情结束之后再重新振作，重新去拓展他的演戏之路。那这边有个实用片语我们来认识一下， get back on one's feet， 它是一个人重新振作，重新再站起来的意思。 get back on one's feet.
That was, the dream. That was the idea. I had this, actor dream. And I actually pursued acting in LA for the past 3 years. Did a lot of background work, shot a lot of commercials, been in a couple movies here and there. And I eventually got my SAG card. And now, actually wanted to come back to Taiwan to pursue acting. But with this whole pandemic, things kind of got put on pause. So I've been kind of struggling on the whole acting thing. But hopefully after this all ends, I can get back on my feet, start getting gigs again. And hopefully, start pursuing this dream of mine in Taiwan.
So actually, what was kind of the inspiration to get you involved with the entertainment scene as a whole?
在这段访谈中，我们会听到 Perry 分享他之所以会踏上演艺之路的原因。原来啊，他原本是在金融界工作的，根本跟演戏毫无关联。后来因为有一天呢，这个某间在好莱坞代理亚裔美国人的这个演艺经纪公司给他通知说，他们有一个实习的机会哦，可以让他当临时演员跑龙套什么的。Perry 就想说，反正好啊，也没事，赚一些外快也好嘛，所以就立马给他报名下去。那也就是从那时候开始，让 Perry 渐渐爱上演戏，慢慢踏上了这条演艺之路。这边等一下 Perry 会讲到 background acting， 好，这就是所谓的跑龙套当临演啦，background acting。
Funny story, coming out of college, I was in finance, so nothing even close to the entertainment industry. But I actually got an internship with this, talent agency that represented, Asian American talents from Asia in Hollywood. So being that internship, they actually gave me the chance to go do some background acting. They told me about it. I did not know background acting was a thing. I had no idea. And one day they just signed me up, on this casting website and said, hey, Perry, you're going to go do some background acting, earn some extra cash on the side. I was like, sure, why not? I have this free time and it's, from work. So I was like, sure. And since then, I got these, cool background roles and started just falling in love with the whole industry. It was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun.
Love that, man. Yeah, that's actually kind of how I got involved as well. And just started to fall in love with the process and being on set and seeing everyone kind of get into character. Exactly. And I was just like, dude, I don't know if I want this to be my full-time job, but I just know I want to be around it as much as I can. So dope that we kind of share that similar story. Exactly. But thinking about 2021, maybe and beyond, what kind of is your plans for the future in terms of maybe acting or anything in your life?
接下来 Perry 会提到说他对于未来的一些计划。他提到说，因为一开始本来就是为了要发展他的演艺生涯回来台湾的，所以不会因为现在疫情的关系就被打倒。希望未来这个状况慢慢改善之后，可以再有更多的机会去参与演出。那最糟的情况也顶多就是去参加一些谈话性节目，给自己增加曝光率这样子而已。那待会他会提到这句话 It's not the end of the world， 字面上它意思是不是世界末日，其实呢就是用来形容天没有塌下来啦，不是世界末日，表达事情没有那么糟的意思。
I did think about wanting to go back to LA, to keep pursuing that acting dream of mine, but I did come back to Taiwan for this dream. Hopefully I can pick up some gigs here after, hopefully everything settles down. But if not, LA is always an option, but I'm not going to give up here yet. I have a lot of friends in the industry that I think could help me out. And I believe, worst case, I go on some talk shows and hopefully from there I could get noticed or picked up. And eventually, being in a movie or a hit TV show, sitcom is my dream. And if I could pursue that out here, that'd be amazing. But if not, it's not the end of the world for me. I could always, go back to LA and try again there. But it's a short dream of mine. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it's not the end of the road.
Yeah, man. I love that. Yeah, and that's just you. You're following that heart right now.
Yeah, that dream of mine.
And that dream, yeah. Wherever it leads you, you'll go.
There you go.
And you'll adapt along the way.
little明星梦.
little 明星梦, yeah.
My dream.
Your dream. That sounds like a Disney movie right now.
Right?
Nice, bro. If you don't mind then kind of thinking more about your life. Mm-hmm. So you said you went to TAS, I believe kindergarten through the end of high school.
Yes.
And then you applied.
Tiger baby.
You were a tiger baby, that's right.
My whole life.
Your whole life, no doubt. And then you decided to go to the States for university, is that right?
Yep, that's correct.
So what was that transition like, going to the States? Probably, was it for the first time?
在这段访谈中呢 Perry 要来跟大家分享他当初从台湾搬去美国念书的时候，他的 transition， 他的这个调试的过程。 他说呢，因为本来就有家人在美国，蛮常会去那边玩的，所以搬去念书的时候也不是第一次踏上美国的土地。但是毕竟去玩跟去住是两回事啊，一切都要归零，社交圈都要从头开始。加上他选的学校不是其他台湾同学都选的南加大，而是一间比较小的私校，这个环境的改变让他当时也是经历了蛮大一个这个文化冲击。不过他也提到说啊，对于当初这样的决定也完全没有后悔哦，因为如果当时没有选这间学校念的话，就也不会认识现在他这一群要好的朋友。
No, I mean, I went to the States for, vacation. I had family there, so I go there pretty often. But actually moving there and living there was kind of, a culture shock even, I'd say, because I didn't know exactly what to expect. I went to a school where no one else from TAS has ever been to. But, I think I've made the right choices so far in my life going to that school. It's called Cal Lutheran University in Thousand Oaks, small little private school. If I had went to USC like everyone did at TAS, I don't think I would meet the people I would have today and done the things I would have done. So I'm actually very grateful for that decision.
That's dope, man.
Yeah.
So when you got there, kind of that culture shock you're speaking on, what helped you kind of to feel comfortable in the States after a while?
接下来 Perry 会跟我们谈到他当时搬到美国的时候，为了要让自己融入当地文化，想说自己也是有打过一些 rugby， 有打过一些这个橄榄球嘛，就决定去试试看参加学校的美式足球队。那因为其实在他的地区呢，亚洲人算是少数，而球队上的球员就更不用说了，只有他一个亚洲人，所以后来被选上，他说其实真的是蛮骄傲的哦，而且呢也因为这样子交到了一些很要好的朋友。那在这段的最后，大家会听到 Perry 他提到这个字 sophomore year、junior year 还有 senior year。 那这是什么意思呢？好，这个 sophomore 它是我们说的大二 sophomore， 那 junior 是大三，这大二大三呢也就是 Perry 在球队上待的2年，到最后 senior year 大4的时候，因为是最后一年， Perry 说他就都在玩，就没有继续打球了。
Honestly, I wanted to fit in. Going to, a foreign place, somewhere I've, never been to, people I've never met. I was the minority on campus. There was about, a 4% Asian rate. So I needed to do something to fit in. And that's when I decided I wanted to play college football. And that's a whole nother, thing that I started to do and eventually got me to where I am today. And I met some of the coolest people and friends that I would still call friends for the rest of my life.
That's dope, man. So you decided you wanted to play American football.
I know.
So you had never played American football before that?
Never played American football in my life. I actually played rugby growing up, so I kind of had, that contact in me. But football, never. But I wanted to fit in somehow, so I walked on and somehow made the team. I felt proud of that, I was the only Asian on the team, too. So, yeah, something that I'm actually pretty proud of.
Yeah, man, that is a huge accomplishment.
Yeah.
And you just walked on and tried out, and they're like, all right, we like this guy.
I mean, I literally told the coach, I was like, hey, coach, never played football in my life, but I play rugby, so I can hit. Just, let me hit somebody. Let me do something. I'll show you what I can do.
Nice. Yeah. What position did you actually play?
I was, I was a lot bigger than I am today.
You're still pretty big, bro.
I am. I'm not saying I'm small. I'm still pretty big right now, but back then I was huge. I was chunky, but I was a nose guard, so I played on the D line.
Okay, on the D line.
Yep, I was a nose guard, just trying to get the quarterback.
Nice, man.
Yeah.
And you played then all 4 years?
I actually played for 2 years.
2 years.
Because I wanted to. And the first year I was still, scared of everything. Wanted to just, dip my feet in little, several pools. But second year, I was like, I'm going to do this. The second year of college. And I played, sophomore year, junior year, and senior year, I just wanted to have fun. I just wanted to just hang out, drink beers, just live my best life.
Live your best life. Yeah, man. Well, you did it good, man. I'm happy that all worked out. So thinking then kind of a little bit about your language journey then with that transition to American schools. Like we said, you've always kind of been involved with the American school system at TAS here in Taipei. But what would you say kind of was the biggest motivating factor when you got to the States? Was it like trying to fit in, so you had to learn new slang, or what were some difficult things you had to overcome?
在紧接着这段访谈中呢 Perry 要来跟大家分享那时候在美国念书的时候是怎么克服那些遇到的难题。那其实因为本来之前就有在台北那间美国学校念书，所以讲英文对于 Perry 来说不是什么太大的问题，主要是要学怎么用英文跟当地人沟通互动，要学他们的一些口语俚语用法等等，不然都感觉好像格格不入，好像都融入不了他们当地的生活圈。幸好后来呢他有参加学校的足球队，就跟队友学到很多各种俚语，对他在融入当地这方面有很大的帮助。我们赶快来听吧。
Honestly, speaking English wasn't, the hardest part, but like you said, the slang and, learning the lingo at school and, how people talk to each other in the States. I learned a lot of slang just playing football, that locker room slang, I'll tell you that. Things that I've never heard before in my life, I've learned to speak, and now I include it in my daily language, daily speaking too. So honestly, the language English is so fascinating. A lot of things, a lot of words, I'd say, make up for pretty much anything, and people could say the most random things, but it would make sense. But that's just slang, and that's just lingo.
Yeah, man. So I know you've been around English your whole life,
Yep.
basically. But do you remember any kind of tips and advice you can share with our listeners about maybe what really helped you, let's say, learn some more slang when you got to the States?
紧接着他要来跟大家建议练习英文最好的方法不外乎就是跟母语人士去学，这样子你才有办法真正的去学到英文的精髓嘛，学到怎么样真正用英文去跟人家互动沟通。我们不要害怕去开口说，讲错了也没有关系啊，就欣然接受，让对方去纠正你，因为这样子你才会越挫越勇，才会进步嘛，对不对？
Honestly, just speaking the language with people who are native speakers and just listening to, how they say things, how they word things, the kind of words they choose to use in everyday language. That's something that really helped me, fit in, develop, and learn, the language that they're speaking. So honestly, just going into it, I had no idea what to expect. But, after speaking with them, I learned the lingo, I learned the slang, and eventually I found myself just speaking the same language and just fitting right in. Don't be scared, let people correct you. That's how you learn.
That kind of concept of just try.
Yeah, just try.
And you were. And so you were kind of mentioning to me off air that, when you got to the States, instead of working more on your English too, which you were doing, you actually picked up Cantonese. Is that right?
did.
在这段访谈中呢 Perry 会讲到他当时在美国不是想说要继续把英文学得更好反而是还 picked up 还学了这个广东话。他说因为洛杉矶那边很多华人移民，不少人虽然是住在美国这个讲英文的环境，但是在他们的华人圈里面，在餐厅店家主要呢都还是用广东话在沟通交流，而且加上他爷爷也是只会讲广东话，所以在这样子耳濡目染的情况下，他也就默默的把广东话学起来了。广东话会讲广东话的听众朋友，我的发音还可以吗？
Exactly, because being in LA too, I feel like Cantonese is a very common language, especially in the Asian parts of town. I lived in San Gabriel, and believe it or not, a lot of restaurants, these employees and workers, they speak Cantonese only. And cool story, my dad's side, my grandpa, he's also from Hong Kong, so the only language he spoke was Cantonese. And he does not speak a single bit of English or Mandarin, so I had to learn Cantonese to be able to communicate with him. Since then, I started just speaking Cantonese with him every day, and I got corrected all the time, but that's kind of how I learned this language, just picked it up like that, and now I could say I'm semi-fluent. I don't know if you heard of Cantonese before.
Yeah, dude, I have, but yeah, drop some on us, like
just a basic line, 你識唔識講廣東話? That means, do you know how to speak Cantonese? Or have you eaten yet? 你食咗飯未? 你食咗飯, yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, it kind of has more of some rounding sounds, kind of like Southeast Asia vibes.
So I think if I'm not wrong, I could be wrong. Cantonese has, I believe 8 tones or 9 tones. But Mandarin, they only have 4 tones. So just by that, it's crazy, the language itself has that many tones. I could barely pick up on my Mandarin, let alone another 4 more, 4 more tones to add.
Yeah, man, I hear you. That's dope. Well, congratulations on that. And I'm sure, yeah, your dad's side of your family is
they're
stoked.
super stoked.
Yeah, man. That's awesome. All right, my dude. Well, that's kind of leading us, unfortunately, to our last question here on NG Ingwen. And that is, if you could go back in time and talk to a younger Perry, would there be any advice you give yourself about language or life?
访谈最后 Perry 会提到说如果真的可以回到过去，给小时候的自己一些人生建议，他会想告诉自己要 learn to say no， 如果是要做一些让自己不舒服的事情，就要勇敢说不。好，相信大家也知道，我们在同学朋友之间有时候难免会有一些 peer pressure， 会有这个同侪压力嘛，可能因为某件事情周遭朋友都在做，自己就默默觉得好像也要参与咖，不然就会不合群什么的。但 Perry 说当时也就是因为这样子给自己带来一些不必要的麻烦，所以希望自己要 set the boundary， 要设定界限，让人家知道自己的底线在哪里，勇敢拒绝让自己不舒服不自在的事情。
I feel like everything I've done in life has brought me to where I am today, but definitely, if I were to go back and tell myself or change something, I'd definitely say learn to say no. Learn to say no sometimes. I feel like saying yes has gotten me places where I really necessarily don't want to be in and made me uncomfortable, but because of my personality, I don't like saying no. I feel like I want to please people. I want to say yes. So just growing up, I've always said yes to things even though I didn't want to say yes to. And I feel like if I had said no to those some of those things, I would have been in a different place today, because I feel like I got myself into unnecessary trouble, which I did not necessarily appreciate. But just being me, I had to say yes. And so, yeah, just going back, and if I had to tell myself something back then, I'd say learn to say no. Yeah.
Yeah, man, that's deep. I like it. I like it. I like that deep stuff.
Deep story.
Yo, man, yeah, because I think, that's something everyone can learn, kind of setting those boundaries.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, of course, we all kind of want to please, and when you were in the States, I'm sure, you were trying to fit in even harder, and yeah, that peer pressure,
peer pressure gets the best of me,
man, it got the best of me when I was a kid too,
man.
It still creeps in my life,
It does, it still does, but I feel like I've gotten better at saying no. So I still am the old self. I still say yes to a lot of things, but I've learned to say no. I learned to say no, and that saved me a lot of trouble. So yeah, I appreciate myself for that.
Beautiful. All right, my brother. Well, it's been a pleasure. And where can people find your short clips online and kind of more about your life?
Well, I'm pretty much living through Instagram. I feel like everyone is now today. Instagram, Facebook. So my Instagram is Mr.PerryLee. If you guys are willing to give me a little follow, like and share my profile, watch some of the clips I've done with Brandon.
Yeah.
And if you like it, feel free to drop a comment, send me an Instagram message, and hopefully I'll see it and respond. Thank you, guys.
Beautiful, my man. All right, dude. Well, I wish you nothing but success, and it's been a pleasure getting to know you more over the interview, and I'll see you and hopefully get to work together with you more
That'd be
soon.
Cool. Thanks for having me, man. I had a lot of fun.
Yeah, awesome, brother. All right, talk to you soon.
All right, bud.
Peace.
Bye.
All right. Well, that is our NG Ingwen show for today. We hope everyone enjoyed listening to that. You can connect with us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and now Spotify. You can search NG Ingwen, or you can search on IG NG English ICRT. And don't forget to tune in every Wednesday morning from 6:30 to 7 and Wednesday night from 9 to 9:30. We'll catch you on the next episode. Bye-bye.
好，那我们今天西平方的节目 NG 英文就到这边告一段落啦。感谢大家的收听，别忘了到 IG 搜寻我们的粉丝专页 NG 底线 English 再底线 ICRT。大家也要记得每周三早上6点半到7点，或是晚上9点到9点半，把广播调到 ICRT FM 100，准时收听我们节目哦。那也欢迎各位上网搜寻西平方的攻其不备课程，或者呢是到我们西平方的官网多读一些有关 NG 英文的文章，看看有哪些是可以吸收学起来的小撇步哦。我们下周见了，拜拜。